his
really
kids.
try and like his whole family behind.
That sounds so mean, by the way. Left everything behind.
If you want context for that, Google it. But yeah, Mouse Sports, there's definitely higher expectations from them coming into this matchup simply because of, you know, Drops and Frozen, really. Like, that's it. Like, those two names are kind of raising the bar.
I kind of refuse to live in a world where Robs doesn't make it to the Legends.
Exactly.
I refuse. I absolutely refuse. We're talking about a player who's had
to live in a
MVP.
world like that as
I'm
well,
sure
I reckon.
He would not, you know, like that. He was in the top 10 of the HLTV ranking last year. He's one of the very best players we have in the world. And I know the conversation is always around A-Core, and I've put it on the record. I am not defending A-Core at all. I think he's insufficient for the highest level. I've never done, by the way, despite all people would want to make me look like a happy unicorn. That's not the fact. But the rest of the lineup is...
Shout out to Duncan having
There
his
we go.
morning off. If you're watching the broadcast, thinking about your brother.
The rest of the team is so great. I look at the Frozen Robs and Beamus as well at times is you know, defending his color. So I kind of refuse to see that core go 1-3 at the major. That would be a disappointment for them.
Yeah. I think the problem for this one is we talked about the mentality of this team and why we don't buy into it as them being a relevant team when it comes to, you know, being a contender and so on. This is a truly problematic series for them in that case. If they start losing to Renegades, right, God forbid they're down 1-0 in maps, does that team doesn't have a leader who's going to be like, hey boys, like, come on, let's do this, you know, who's going to lead the way on the server as well with some calls maybe or some moves, some plays and so on. You could feel just everyone is slowly like sinking in their chairs, right, and the game is slipping away from them. They can see it, but there's no one who can really do anything about it. That's what worries me about.
But you can also say the same thing for Renegades as well, right? Let's be real, they have struggled quite a bit mentally as well. I feel like they haven't really played the level they could potentially play, and they've had very slow starts. Look at the game against Big yesterday on Inferno. They got dismantled. That CD side was non-existent, but they were showing a little bit of fight at the end over there. They made those games comparatively closer than it could have easily been 16-4, 16-5 games there. So it is interesting that I want to see how Inns and, you know, Dexter's old teammates are going to be mentally ready for this particular matchup. And I have to agree with you. Like you said, if things start off on the wrong note for the side of Mouse Sports, I could easily see things just spiral out of control. For Renegades, though, they have shown that they do have the mental resilience at least to make it a little bit competitive.
I don't know if mental resilience is the angle I want to attack on, but what's for sure is they have no pressure. And any map they take and the rounds they take against Mouse Sports is great, but I don't want people to be out there thinking, like, you know what, it's a 50-50 game. That's not what it is. Mouse Sports should actually just completely dismantle them. Exactly, so Renegades they have here with absolutely no pressure. They should embrace that. That's the major. It's the best way to do it.
The one thing I will say is, though, I do know the Aussies are very good at mind games and getting in people's heads. That's one strength they've got. It's ingrained in their sporting culture, you know, sledging, for example, in cricket. If anyone watches cricket, all 5 of you out there.
Speaking to the whole community right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. But yeah, they, you know, they do know how to do a number on their former teammates and stuff. So there could be a psychological aspect to it, but obviously nothing we can really analyse, except maybe you, Maniac, with your qualifications. But let's move on and talk about Big versus Ents. This is another very intriguing matchup, I think. Ents have kind of been one of my sleeper picks. I've been saying for a while now. This is the team that shouldn't work, but does. Snappy, hats off to this guy. When he got picked up, I was like, this guy is washed up. He's not going to do anything here. This is like almost like a placeholder pickup. And he has transformed this young team, and they are not just fragging out. They've got a great system in place.
They play good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, totally.
And if we compare these two teams, I guess the expectations in the scene are completely different. On one hand, of course, as you say, Ents already sort of exceeding what we could expect. A bunch of, you know, a mashup of players. We don't really know what makes sense. D-Hell was in Sprout for the longest time. Dodo kind of sleeping in the finish scene. Snappy, we thought that was the end. And then suddenly they come together, and we have to give them a fighting chance against the like of Big, who on the other hand, respectively, just the likes of Heroic, have been at the top of Counter-Strike during the online season. They compete with a lot of people say Surson is an onliner, you know, he made it into the top 10. He's never done it online. He's not proven. He's not going to do it.
Tell me more, Maniac. Tell me more.
There's a lot of people.
Keep going.
There's a lot of people who are in that camp, and he's got the opportunity right there to prove everyone wrong. So, in terms of pressure and having to perform, it's actually Big who's shaking in their boots right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing with Big, right? If you go back like a few months and you look at at it from a more holistic angle, you look at Big and NC, like, yeah, Big should be the team who should be in this favored in this particular matchup. But, you know, with Gate coming in, they have been serviceable, right? And you look at Big, we talk about the system, like you said.
That's a horrible way to compliment someone.
I know, right? But look at yesterday's map against Mouse. That T-side calling from Snappy was fantastic. He is a master of puppets, and each and every one of his puppets in that team are deadly. So I gotta say, I feel like Big will be the underdogs in this matchup. Ents look like they're on fire, and I do believe they should be taking this.
They do have the X factor, I would say, on Big, you know, because the thing is, when they have competitive games when Searson and Tito play okay, but when they pop off, they pull a result out of nowhere that really surprises you. So the question really revolves around them, and of course, you know, Tabson himself, probably one of the most slept-on star players we've got in the scene, right?
Criminally so. Criminally so. Tabson also a man that on the server will have by far the most major experience. We're talking about twice in the playoffs. He's done 5 majors. He's been there. He's been around the block. He knows how to handle that pressure. And I guess today is a very great opportunity for Tabson to be a captain with the capital C. Really, truly rally the troops behind him and make sure they give the best, because a lot of people are doubting him against Ents, where they really shouldn't. We should not be doubting Big. If you look at the pound runners and what they have done, the matter of fact is we have to give Ents a fighting chance.
The other one, we've talked a lot about Astralis, obviously. It's been a big storyline. We were all either going to go out, they're going to go out. Now, suddenly, it looks like they are favorites to go 2-2 because they're going to be taking on Pain Gaming. Look, I don't want to be disparaging about Pain. I watched them a lot. They've got some very talented individuals over there. The problem is, this is really the biggest stage we've seen them on, and they're going up against the old masters. And so, Astralis have looked pretty poor, but Godsent was too easy for them yesterday. That's going to give them a lot of confidence going into this one.
The problem here is, you know, the way they completely dismantle Godsent here, right? Godsent are, in my books, a better team than Pain or Shark. They're one of the better representatives coming in from the Brazilian scene. They have looked very good in the past couple of months, and the way they just got completely blown out of the water, when you already have Phelps and Taco in the team, goes to show that, yeah, Astralis, they're still not Astralis we're used to, but going up against a team like Pain, who did struggle yesterday against Sharks. It should have been easy 2-0 in my books, but, you know...
They should have lost.
By the way, Pain should have lost. Yeah, that wasn't a pretty game, but even the things you see here in this highlight package, you know, like Zipper getting a double kill on ramp, Godsent trying to play the smoke fade, like, you know, these are experienced players. You're not going to catch them off guard with plays like that. And yesterday, Astralis really did just dismantle Godsent step by step on that T side, taking advantage of their impatience, of their inexperience. And I think, you know, Pain Game is going to be in a similar boat, maybe not exactly the same, but, you know, you don't get any confidence at all of an upset potential.
No, and I mean, just as it was quite rightful for us to be shocked about Astralis being 0-2 and one game away from being eliminated. We had to be outraged by that. But as you mentioned on that very day, this was one day of Counter-Strike. One day of Counter-Strike where they lost 2 maps, 2 best of ones. And I think that the 0-2 moment for Godsent was probably the best moment to get Astralis. The moment where they're down in the dumps, no one is having any confidence. But unfortunately for Pain, they had that game to warm up. Magisk was immense, 1.28 now rating in his tournament.
He's dragging them through this,
absolutely, he's carrying them. Glaive finding a little bit of instinct. Xipix having multi-kills. It might be too late. The window might be closing for Pain. And if Astralis just plays 70% of the level, they're not in the whole world. It's the whole universe.
So, it's been a crazy major. Let's just quickly have a look at these talent predictions that we've been making. The Carousel of Doom, we've called it. Funnily enough, by the way, guys, just to sort of give you a little glimpse behind the curtain, me and Anders, there we were, having a drink last night in the hotel. Anders says he hates predictions. Says they're meaningless.
Anders is wrong.
Always.
You know, so he's tapped out, I think. I don't even think he's on this list.
Dan going for Spirit against VP. That's
I'm not either, by the way.
That's very brave.
That is brave.
I was just too lazy to submit my predictions.
I think, though, this is the best opportunity for Spirit to make the next stage, really, right? It's like, I think that's sort of a domestic matchup.
A new VP.
Mir has been playing really well. Dexter can, you know, if he has a good game, they're right up there, and they obviously are familiar with VP very much, right? So this is why I talked about yesterday before we knew the matchups. There's bound to be some, you know, brother on brother, good old slaughter, you know, Richard. I love some of that. But,
the brawls. The brotherly brawls.
Yeah, this is like what it's going to be all about. And, you know, who loses, they might even get, you know, a Tropic potentially later on, so we might still have some more.
Well, that's what I mean. That Spirit and Virtus Pro. So, let me just bring you a little factoid in my role as host. I was scrolling Reddit in bed in the hotel, as I often do, responding on my many alts, arguing with idiots, and all 5 of my alts. And
himself, of course.
There was an interview there. It was by Jay, and it was about the
rosters, you know, changes and whatnot. I think that's how it should be, but it can't be without any. Oh, by the way, guys, right? And because
Yeah,
you're not
coach
gonna,
is right, Yanko.
you want, you know, you want your players.
Right for the coach.
I can kind of understand why
You want
Jay
your
was.
players to be happy, but
I can kind of understand why
can't
Jay
have
was the
them have
most
all
pissed
control.
off about this. Like, who's gonna
Yeah.
drop in the op now? You know.
It's true.
Look, we're joking about it, but just think about the amount of pressure it puts on VP. Like, just as a whole, as I say, the capital sympathy for this team is already relatively low. It's not that the type of Counter-Strike is really super exciting, but they don't care. They win.
They're the
They're out
villains of
there.
CS.
They're the villains, right?
Yeah.
You lose Senji. Everyone was treating on, oh, Senji is so selfless. He's dropping weapons. You're going to make that move. You're going to bring in Flit. You better damn have good results. Otherwise, everyone is going to have your
Well,
skin.
let's also talk a little bit about what Duncan was theorizing, because when we saw them yesterday, picking Mirage into FaZe in that match was a real surprise. And, you know, it was close. It was 16-14, obviously, and they did mess up on the 14th round. But we were really surprised that Mirage was there at all, right, Yanko? So, you know, do we think they're going to go back to their old ways, or do you think they're sticking with it? They feel confident with how things went?
well, the surprise was not going for Inferno, right? Like
Yes, that's what you said, yeah.
That's where you would think they're more comfortable, and also, you know, probably not as natural of a strong map for FaZe. But then again, you said it yourself. I mean, they were in a prime position to win that game with losing both pistols, being 3-0 down in both halves, right? You know, that obviously a hard thing to overcome as well. So can we really blame them for the pick in the end, right? You can argue, well, on Inferno would have even been as
I know
close.
it's too easy. It's too easy to go back, and I agree. There was a very, very clear world where they won Mirage, and one of these two pistols, the 29th round. It's too easy.
And also,
Hindsight
they
is
were never
20/20.
gonna 2-0. Like, they
No,
were never
it's-
gonna
it's
win
supposed to be a
Ancient, so
2-1.
it has to be a 2-1. if
But
they're gonna win.
there is a point to be made about, you know, the loss of, I guess, tactical mastery that you have when you change a player right before an event. It is a dream. It is a complete illusion, a delusion at that, to think that you can fit in Flit just right here, and he's gonna know everything about every map anywhere.
And
There's a
also the same
trade-off.
type of
There's a
player as
trade-off.
Sanji.
He's not the same type of player. Doesn't have the same skills. Doesn't know the strike book the same way. He's supposed to compensate with skill, but it's a trade-off. You're losing a little bit of his strike book and your depth.
And also the positioning for Flit, right? Like yesterday when they're playing it on the A side, I feel like he's one of the best players towards the cat area. Like, I know you have Yakinder over there, but having him play a little bit more of an aggressive role, you switched out Buster to replace Sanji towards the B side. So again, you haven't really had too much time to work with, right? They're immediately subbing out Sanji and getting in Flit. So just
That's
confusing.
the thing. Like, he is, like, you know, obviously a better player, but if he doesn't play his spots,
His
is
positions.
he really how much better
That's the
is he,
thing.
right? Like, you need time to learn a position, learn the dynamics of it.
So,
So
with all of that said, Team Spirit probably smelling a bit of blood in the water, right? I mean, this is a good time to sort of be taking on Virtus Pro, where typically, as I said, for me, Team Spirit the last 3 months have been really underwhelming. They're always playing. They're playing in all these online cups. They grind away. Don't seem to win a lot of them. Don't seem to win a lot of games as much these days or have deep runs, when in the first quarter of the year, this was as dangerous as opponent as you could have faced. So what's gone wrong with the Spirit project as we come to this major?
Well, the angle I always attack when it comes to Spirit is the mental fragileness of how they play, right? I've seen them many times, just one game away for doing something great, from finally exceeding to that playoff they need, that semifinal they need. And I see players just whiff kills because you could see there's pressure on them, which is why I think the 2-1 time is the best time possible for Spirit. It's a game where you don't feel that pressure on your back. You know you can technically lose that game, still be competitive, still make it. It's the 2-1 time is the best time possible for Spirit. It's a game where you don't feel that pressure on your back. You know you can technically lose that game, still be competitive, still make it. It's the best possible time for them to play VP. Had that game been a 2-2, my narrative would have been very different.
yeah,
sure.
Here was one of these players you were
Beating
thinking,
NIP,
oh, what if
classic.
Navi picks him up, or the Gambit that won the Krakow major, right, and so on. Sam Young, he was a young and up and coming like talent, like great firepower, Magix, also mechanically really. So these are all like stars at different points in time of their respective teams.
True.
Chopper turned into the in-game leader role, similar to like what we saw from Apex or Boomage, right, kind of forced into it. Dexter, obviously the
diamond in
rising
the rough.
star on the opposition. So the firepower, you know, the talent is there. These are not, you know, there's not a Sanji on this team,
Yeah.
really, in terms of skill,
So-
to put it that way. So, but it's just them not being able to make it work really as a team, as a unit, and just the
At the
team
same
approach
time,
is what-
So
what's
keep
lacking.
the conversation going. We have got the veto. It's going to come up now. We'll just bring this up for you. Any surprises there? It looks like they've been listening to you, Yanko, because we got an Inferno coming in there.
Yeah, they go back to the Inferno. I mean, for VP, that's a clear a pick for them. That's where they've had, you know, a high win rate, good success, even when they were in a slump as a team. And we see Spirit probably a sign of why FaZe in the opening matchup went for Overpass over Ancient against them. Maybe it's something they've seen in practice. Or, you know, seems like Spirit is perfectly happy to go for Ancient here.
I'm going to say here, I'm a little bit displeased. I'm a little bit displeased, honestly, with the Ancient pick because I've seen what Spirit can do on Overpass. It wasn't too bad. And I'm looking at some of the results they had on Ancient. We're talking playing against team like AGO, Skade, and Indi Ire. I don't even know if I said it incorrectly. That, to me, it doesn't give me a lot of faith. This seems like a punish, where obviously there was a weakness in the map pool for VP. But can you actually really play the map to a high level?
No, at this point you play to your strengths, especially it's, looking at what's on the line over here. At least Inferno pick coming in from VP, it's a map they're comfortable on. They're going, maybe they listen to the desk, maybe who knows, right? But for Spirit, I really expected. No, let's be real. Maybe the 5 people on Twitch chat perhaps, but yeah, Ancient. I feel it's still, you know, even though we've been playing the map for a while right now, as your map pick coming in, maybe it's a decider. I can totally understand it, but as Yanko said, Overpass would be a great pick. Honestly, they look good against Tyloo.
How much of a difference does it make, though, that they've got that FaZe versus Virtus Pro demo from this major on Ancient that they can go and mine as a resource?
I think it makes at least a little bit, it's a little bit of help. But also, when you're going into a veto, you're looking to win the series as a whole. You're not looking to, you know, 2-0. It doesn't have to be a 2-0. So if Spirit picks Overpass, there's no Ancient as a third map for sure, right? So maybe they're thinking, you know, this is what gives us the best chance to win the best of 3 as a whole. I think Spirit also has a chance on Inferno.
Em uma luta por sua vida, confiar em seus instintos é tudo. Melhore seu arsenal e prepare sua maior arma. Você, Metroid Dread, já disponível.
Think about the times where Nuke was brought in or Train was brought in. Everyone at the beginning was making the same mistake, which is, hey, I think you don't really play the map so well. Let me just pick it, start on the T side, win 2 rounds. That has happened so many times. And for VP, they can be strong on the CT side without even being experts of the map. I don't think the CT side is too
as long as they don't lose to Glocks, I think they'll be decent,
That would be a good advice to
you
start
can't rule that
don't
out,
lose to
can
Glocks.
you? How important is Yakinda going to be in this game? I
we
know we've highlighted him a lot. I think he's just a phenomenal talent. I even think his future could be in a much bigger team. No disrespect to Virtus Pro, I think he's a genuine world star. Is he going to have a profound impact here against Spirit?
Yeah, there is absolutely no way to understate the impact of Yakinda. At this point, he has become the win condition for VP, and whenever they're having a good result, whenever they're overperforming, Yakinda is there finding impact, finding entries, both on the T side and on the CT side, reclaiming map control. He's truly pushed the aggressiveness in Counter-Strike to a next level, but not in an idiotic way, not in a dumb way at all. There is a logic to what he's doing, and when he's on form, he can decide games on his own, and there's a very short list of players that can actually describe this way.
And also, I just want to chime in with Buster as well. Like, he's the guy who's picking up the reins, which has been left vacant right now by Sanji leaving, right? At least on Mirage and a B-bomb set, for example. So he's been a sacrificial player. He's like, all right, I'm going to do Sanji's work, at least on the CD side, on a couple of maps we've seen so far, allowing Flit a little bit of freedom. I'm still not confident about what their setup is on Mirage, but maybe on an Ancient, maybe on an Inferno, they can set up Flit in the right position, and he and Yakinda can just pop off and make things interesting here.
Yeah, Yanko. I mean, you've seen a lot of entry fraggers in your time. Where do you rank Yakinda?
I think he's pretty high up, right? I think it's just there's so much reliance on him. In terms of, right, you've seen VP time and time like that again. He dies. I mean, 40% of the rounds they save. Like, that's just it.
I know,
not
right?
a 4v5, but then just like one more person dies, 1:15 left, 3v5, save.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a annoying type of Counter-Strike to watch. That just can't be what your game is. It can't be like every time. It's the same. Please come up with something.
This is why
please.
Virtus Pro are a frustrating team. Do you think we'll see Team Spirit maybe play into that a little bit, be a bit bold, be a bit aggressive?
You know why?
They've got
you know why it's
players to do
frustrating?
it.
It's frustrating because they want to present it like it only has to be. No, you can still have your way, but have plan B, plan C, have some fallback options.
Now here's the thing,
right? You can still open the round the same way. It doesn't have to end in saving all the
Here's the thing, when we're watching RMR games, when they had to win some of those rounds, when it's overtime and they're like, oh crap, we can't save, there's no point saving, we have money anyway, right? We need to win. They were winning some pretty cool retakes against some teams like Entropic and even Na'Vi for that matter. I'm like, why can't he do this on the regular? I don't get it. They can do it.
Right, well, guys, time to stop talking.
All right.
Time for the players to start playing. That's what they do. So we're going to get in to this incredible series between Team Spirit and Virtus Pro, and it's going to be brought to you by Sponge and Machine. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, fellas. What a stacked panel we have got. It is just a joy to have so many voices all in our ears at the same time, talking about the very game that we're about to talk about. I've got Chad Birchall with me. My name's Machine. That used to be my Twitter handle. Thank God it's not anymore.
Machiney GTV.
That's what they call me. Yeah, Machiney G, here to hang out with you, and of course to get you ready for Spirit VP. Now, we love us some CIS Counter-Strike.
Yeah, look, VP coming into this, the dust we're just covering off on the way that they like to approach the game. For some viewers, it can be very frustrating here, but you can understand why. It got them pretty far, right? This team, and it doesn't get spoken about a lot, 3 of the 5 now currently were in the last major grand final. So that needs to be reminded as well. But lots of things have chopped and changed, and coming into this, I think it's just difficult to plug and play Flit into a role of Sanji without the team having to come up with a whole new identity. So I want to see that unfold in front of us right here today, and we'll be kicking it off on Inferno.
Love the attention from the desk onto Yakinder, talking about how you cannot understate it. He is a win condition in the words of Mathieu Guicret. We're getting ourselves comfortable. You should too. How is your hydration levels? You might have had your morning coffee, but that doesn't really count. 3 liters a day, fellas. So get yourself a bottle and tune in to Spirit VP. We're heading on in to that pistol round. I'm looking forward to seeing if we get any of that rather standard util-driven pistol where you can see how much Jamin Flit have brought to the fray.
Well, out the gates here, I think this is a lot of what we're going to be seeing here today, especially on the T side of VP, just the slow spread across the map. And this time round, just going to be having Jame over towards T-stairs with that utility you were speaking about. The rest of the team to be channeling their way up through the apartments and kick it while he's the caretaker of Banana. Flash over, peek, Mia, Gusht. And that's going to be enough of a, well, I thought a warning sign to make him drop on back. 80 HP remains. It's not as deadly as it sounded.
There's so much time on the clock, and can't help but feel that Kickit's going to want to take that info away from Mir, top Banana, before they do pop out this apps.
Just note here, Magix has Julies towards the end of apartments here. Now, cheaper and deadly at a range like this. Let's see if they can sing early.
Good setup. Magix. Chance and connecting. Yakinder, however, is getting VP into the side. He's kept humble just to the 1. And the bomb's been spotted as well. Buster's Jewel will force the rotate. A big connection out of Kickit to start off the proceedings of this contest. The bomb yet to be planted. Buster considering his options. He's going to be corralled by Dexter and struggling now. 2 players from VP on pit.
This is buying time right now for Mir to come through the flank through apartments here. Very diligent on this. It's going to be a safe plant. James aware of this, though.
Okay, roles reversed. Coming in. That P250 of Chopper, no armor, and 2 on the side. This is his chance. Ooh, just about gets it across the line. Could have fallen apart for a second there. Well handled by Buster. VP will take that T-side pistol.
Yeah, and it's good to see them getting off to that start. I think in this game right here, it's not, I wouldn't say clear-cut who the favorite is. I think the bookmakers would be leaning towards Virtus Pro for sure, but Team Spirit, they're more of the established roster, considering this whole Flit circumstance that we have in front of us here. I think Mir's been playing quite well. Dexter as well has been putting in the hours, and it's always just that potential with Spirit that never quite manifests. Maybe today could be the day, because I think if all the favorites win today, Spirit, not the favorite, would be finding themselves versus Astralis tomorrow, assuming they beat Pain later on. So this one could hurt for all, but hurting early is Kickit. Lots of nades down Banana. The classic rally of util, back and forth we go. But look at this from SDY, straight on down. There's the first. The second is traded, and it is going to slow on down. No one was there close in the push, just SDY.
You know, you were talking about how rare it was to have like a large head-to-head in the head-to-head suite or in the matches we were having.
That's got to be a pre-fire, surely.
Oh, yeah, that's the first bullet out of the AK, and it just knocks him out. 15 wins for both squads in their head-to-head, admittedly, of course, not accounting for the change of the roster. Virtus Pro bringing in Flit.
Difficult to win now, right? After that SDY kill and it gets into the 4v4, you're thinking, all right, there's an opportunity. But now that it peters out to the 3-man disadvantage for Spirit here, one over towards B. Chop's going to try and delay things with this smoke. The rotation of the other 2 is very far away. You can see they're tucked in, tight in towards that site without any information.
Oh, you might even disrespect that.
with the time, look, there's enough time to channel them back towards A, but they can just hang around and go late B, right? VP are not going to sweat. This is the type of Counter-Strike they're used to. Sure, you want us to go in on the last 10 seconds? We are ready and raring to go for this. So Util about to come on over, and it's all on Chopper.
Yeah, the unenviable task of defending a bomb site with nothing more than a P250. And they've got time to be diligent. I say that Molly does force the fight, and Yakinda adjusts nicely.
This one's done.
Yeah, easy as that. The force buy, though, threatening for a moment.
Yeah, like SDY getting that kill, as I mentioned, was something. Now they're going to see if they can go and find and pick up some of these guns, but you mentioned diligent. I think Virtus Pro are going to be very much so that.
Oh, they are often the embodiment of that.
Hiding guns, making sure nothing can be scooped on up. So they're tidying their room here. We'll be able to get the scout for Magic so they can carry that through, give it to Dexter in the next.
That's a pretty scout as well. I hadn't seen that one before. Oh, and everyone's flexing the hand wraps. Is that a Scorpion on it? I think it's a Scorpion Scout. Clearly haven't been keeping track of all these new...
they just keep adding to it. It's so hard to keep up. And then you got all the old school ones as well. If you take a little while off, you're going to lose track of the skins more than you other teams here.
Well, it's
but
quite aesthetically pleasing how straight that parallel line is running.
We were talking about Spirit just the other day. I think we were doing a little bit of feel before one of the games started, and we were mentioning how, well, at least from my perspective, they're a team who were coming out of the player break, and I thought they were going to be hot to trot. Magics were streaming a lot. It looked like the entire team didn't take too much of a break, whereas others did, and I thought they were going to hit the ground running. And then we had Spirit in their emergence into this level of Counter-Strike. Obviously, Dexter coming in to replace iDisbalance. That was a big change-up. But this team, in certain points, they seemed a little bit one-dimensional. You know, their anti-eco setups or their force spy setups were well noted. And it was on a map like this, Inferno, where that was first.
Now, there's an alternate reality that I'm just going to remind everyone it could exist. With 4... Bloody hell, I was about to talk about HGs, and it's an absolute disaster.
Yikes.
Chopper's dead man martyrdom perk has taken a teammate down, and never mind about the power of this Scout 4HE combo chat. I don't even get to finish the sentence before it absolutely gets thrown back in their face.
Yeah, that couldn't have gone much worse, really, could it? Okay, well, back towards B we go.
And Magic's Molotov'd out of the first. Yeah, James feeling himself first into the site here. Hot pursuit at some frags. It does actually cost him his life and his rifle. Shouldn't be much more to write home about.
That was attacked through the smoke. That's going to send them packing.
Not far off the mark, but Yakinda starts to farm up. He's starting on the T side as well, Chad. I mean, I don't know if you caught the game yesterday, but he came in absolutely raring to go. He has had terrible CT sides and ended at the top of the scoreboard with that T start, or with that T side. 6 frags to the good already. Great start for VP. Couldn't really get better than that. So 3-0. We'll get to see the rifles out. I don't think Dexter's... it's unlikely.
No, he's got the big green, yeah.
All right.
He's going to be very influential with this. And going up against Jame on the other side, I think that's a massive battle. Now, in terms of it being head-to-head, I don't think we're going to see too much of that. Having a quick look here, they're not operating with the T-side AWP right now. They've opted for 5 rifles, so let's see if they go for something a little bit more execute-heavy.
Yeah, here it comes. 3 leaning B. Dexter taking that up. Hey, it does enable them to have another body on the side, and Chopper's got a really big chance. Needs Burke, he's blind. Doesn't even see him. Buster hiding in plain sight. Vision based on movement. Chopper is a Velociraptor, I think. And yeah, down goes another. That is 3 VP. Man advantage for Spirit. They have to build upon this. So reshaping, rejigging. The A side to be tested. They're doing it quite quickly here. Look at this. Oh, baiting the orb shot, but there's the response. A dink now lodged in the head of Yakinda. He's going to be Molotov'd out. Doesn't implement the smoke. Magix is in a lot of trouble, but still fights his way out. There wasn't any group pressure. It was Flit isolating and, yeah, unable to convert. That's surely going to leave VP in a tight spot, looking to recover what they can.
Well, this is where it's going to be a very difficult round to win right here. There's 30 seconds left, and I hate to say it, maybe it could be a save call coming on out.
I mean, there is only one defending B as it currently stands. You can see the floats coming in.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the way that VP act. They're never going to go for anything audacious until we get to the end of the game, when they have to, right? These kind of situations, like Can we win the round? No. Okay, let's not even try.
Play the percentages. Yeah, absolutely. And we gave Astralis a lot of credit for kind of forcing that upon us. Gambit then kind of refined it and demonstrated that it can have a mix of both. Like, I mean, it got to the point where they would that people would expect them to be saving, so they used that in their advantage. You can see, yeah, just maybe 4x3'd. Chopper not able to spot Buster. And that was those opening proceedings. So far it has been pretty chaotic over on that Banana side for both teams. Team Spirit converting early there. And bringing that aggression in. Dexter now armored on his Zoom banger. Start that again, 3-2 split. And we do have 5 Kalashnikovs throwing into the round. Let's see if we do get any blood early.
Trying their luck again here. Kicker's quite aggressive on this.
Look at that. That is hyper aggressive. Tucked half wall. Chopper again. Same death. This time he doesn't take one with him.
Oh, Kicker needs to get out of here with his life. The number is worth a lot here. 16 HP. Jumping around. Will find safety towards logs, and nothing lethal to be thrown his way other than
what is
potential
this
bullets.
Stubbornness? They're going again.
Mir's one way in this smoke right now.
It's a very potent smoke. Walking in on them. There's chaos everywhere. Action down. Banana shut down. Yakinda caught on the cross. Isolated from his team. The incendiary bang on. Back to the drawing board for VP. Flitz floating around the apps, but won't be able to do too much with this.
Yeah, they're out of space here, right? They need to go deal with Mir towards the bottom of Banana. There is a little bit of room for them over towards A, but they need to push Mir back. Turning their attention to him now, leaving Flit up to his own devices, and there's 2 Jules looking to go down on either side.
Mir could lose the B-bomb site, and he will. Just like that. Caught in a window of timing, and they are just absolutely rushing the B site. Oh, they paused. They're running boosting it. It does give a little bit more time.
Hey, this is looking funny now.
A little more time
a little bit
for
funky.
SDY. And he's even taken Buster down, so they're going to be in a wide open A site. Flitz saying, come over here, boss.
And he is on his way. SDY's read this well. He's rotated in. If he can stop the bomb up mid.
Oh, this could be a disaster. Okay, he's got abs. Loud about it.
He can get him jumping out here.
Could even catch him on the drop. Flitz looking the wrong way. He's got an AWP as well. This could get awkward. Does he go for the default?
Safe plant.
Oh, he's got a spot. Good shot. Doesn't find Flit just yet, but the smoke now down. He should be able to isolate onto James here. Anticipating the push from Flit. Oh, not far off the mark. Some die young. A good read of the situation, but a great recovery from VP.
Yeah, and you have to. We didn't catch it on screen, but Flit getting a kill and getting into pit meant that the A defenders couldn't leave. They couldn't get over there to deal with Mir's death immediately, so that slowed things down. Now, obviously a fumble from VP. They could have got into that site for free, but they weren't to know what the rotation looked like. But this is immediately going to throw Spirit back down to squalor here. They have enough money on 3 of their players to justify a rifle, maybe even 4 if you wanted to get Chopper into something without any nades or a FAMAS. So there is a conversation to be had, and that's why the timeout will be called here. But this is a good start from VP. Pretty steady scenes. Yakinda is going to be going into a MAC-10, and he has a good spawn. So when you see a player with especially one that has an affinity with entry fragging like Yakinda like this, we can either see him go fast up Banana, they could send him into boiler or halls quite quickly, even just barreling up middle, and it will be the buy from Spirit here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is such a perfectly stark contrast to some of the Infernos we've seen before where Tyler were just giving, you know, Banana
all
control.
The room, yeah.
Whereas look at these guys. We've got Chopper fighting half wall 20 seconds into the round. We've got Kicker tucked in there taking the duel. It's a very different ball game today.
Just to note as well here, with this MAC-10 in play, it might look like the weakest weapon, but at the pace they have and no head armor on the other side, Yakinda could shred through them here.
Yeah, leading the pack. He's opted for middle as opposed to Banana with his pace and cancels his plans. James sticking around in that Molotov, yeah. He's got some burnt rubber filling his nostrils.
Might have to keep our eyes here on the opening kills as well, because so far for VP and the majority of these gun rounds, the opening kills have gone their way.
We're going to see a gamble. Now, this favors Spirit until it doesn't. Now, VP are happy to just pause. In fact, you can even see just that deep smoke has put them in spawn. They're just chilling, having a conversation, working out the game plan. James been throwing that bomb, so he'll be at the back of the pack.
Here's the thing. It's so early in the round right now, and I know there's 1:10 left on the clock, and we start with 1:55, but it's so early against VP. So to drop that Hail Mary smoke, they're hoping it forces VP into them quickly, and, well, it's VP. That's not going to happen. Yeah. They're going to sit and wait out. One of the things on Inferno, once all the CT utility is gone, right, the fights become much fairer, and I'm talking about utility. Look at VP still. A bunch of smokes, a bunch of flashes.
They'll just start their round. They'll just do a 45
They're going to pick mid. They're picking mid right now.
They are having a look. A warning shot across the bow. But here they go. At least looks like they're going to be committing to B. SDY and Chopper now are actually racing against the clock and the VP boys. Full rotation off. Magix is on his way as well. The T-Smoke confirms their suspicions. But look at Flit getting a cheeky time, and if he can, worm his way through. And oh, this is naughty VP. Back to the A site. It's going to be all on to Dexter. And Flit's got the rotate locked. They're playing a very nice game here. Knives are out and bodies are dropped. Flit masterful in the double. Dexter up to his usual antics. He's contributing, but the bomb cannot be contested. He'd have loved to find an angle, a safe plant adopted by Yakinda to get it down. Double incendiary. Get yourself out of there and get yourself out of this round, because VP, they can make that clock work in their favor.
And if you're SDY, like, the option of retake is not looking great. Gives it a shot, goes on down. We're going to call that 5-1 right now. This is looking fantastic for VP out the gates here.
Yeah, that did really look nice. I mean, just the timing Flit caught as well. Gets to take some proactive play, using his own judgment, as well as, of course, operating within that team environment. But this was lovely. Look, I mean, catching a team like Team Spirit off to the point where they're running from the wrong bomb site with their knives out. It's dreamy. It's what every player, every lurker dreams of.
What I like so far from VP is it hasn't just been slow plays. They've actually gone for fights early here, so we're seeing a bit of variation in the way that they want to approach this. But some early nades banana, that's going to signal 3 players over towards B at least. Now, maybe, just maybe, VP starts to get a little bit of a move on over towards the other side of the map. Utility thrown out from Kick It. Safely done, and that's going to keep feet planted. Now, it is just 2 players, Dexter and Magix, deep within that A side again. So currently, even though it is an eco, Spirit are operating with no information. Yeah,
so what's happened there is you can see the knee-jerk reaction to a presence in apps is to push for banana info. You hear the flash fly through, looking to clear up half wall. And after they've called it clear, VP will come and knock it again. It really is just a constant game of trying to subvert their expectations.
When around like this, you're just hoping to catch somebody on their own who's, you know, gone a little bit too far on the default here, but I don't think that's going to happen. Staying in quite the pack.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Don't be losing that bomb anywhere.
The only way you win a round like this is if somebody goes ham with a big multi-kill in the pistols, right? So VP looking great here to secure the 6th early, and, well, just on the cusp of the smoke. Magix does strike. He's able to get an AK-47 and get away. This one's starting to get interesting now.
That certainly is. Oh, very interesting. Dexter's caught Flit short. A 2-man disadvantage, Chad. And the bomb's still leaning A. I think it's practically a commitment
it's at
on
this
point. Kick does not have access to the site. Spirit, no armor. Just some sidearms, and now a 2 versus 5. They're going to do it spotlessly. Magix has even found another on the AK, and for the first time, we do see a little chip in the armor of this VPT side.
That's crazy, because I was just talking about how they stay together as a pack. All those deaths were isolated, one by one. Every single one of them had no trade potential right there. So VP, they did the hard work, they did the heavy lifting, they put themselves in a good spot, but they didn't set themselves up for the trades. And Spirit get a freebie.
That is the best trade deal so far. I mean, look what you leave with and what you came in with.
So much cash as well residual here. So this could be a turning point of the game if Team Spirit are able to consolidate here and continue to post CT-sided rounds. So it's a big question mark here, because this will give them a buffer. You know, it's going to give them a bit of extra cash even if they do lose this one. But it'd be great to start building a bank off the back of that. And I'm curious to see SDY. He has that MAC-10, and he's even going to carry it through.
Okay.
Yeah, so fiscally responsible. Kick It on the other side. It's going to have to be batted on down to a Tech 9.
Yeah, the only person actually, you know, forced to send his cash to the goose egg is Mir. So they will have a very nice little nest egg.
Oh, this is so much util for banana control.
Yeah, there's 3 smokes currently up on banana, and Yakinda's up. Brackets. This is so quick. So quick. He's in the blind spot of Magic's apps as well.
Flanks coming, Chopper's here already.
Hey, this is a chaotic round. Oh my god, Mir's here too.
Have the steps been
through the
doesn't
smoke?
Look like it.
Through the smoke. Round short. The timing on this is going to be brilliant. The flank of the century. Chopper strikes, and he'll take 3. VP, they can't quite believe that. They're only just starting their A take, and they're getting shot in the booty.
Oh, Chopper wants more as well here. Very hungry for this. They're just trying to get the frag.
What a reaction. I mean, I guess you can see why he was so early, stubborn to get banana info.
Both teams, though, reacting off of the info, right? Right there, you had 3 sets of util from Spirit thrown in banana. VP react off of that to take mid and try and get on those A defenders immediately. And as soon as that's called from the A defenders, Chopper, pedal to the metal as quick as you like. On that flank, nobody watching the behind. And that should be the round unless Flit, on 42 points of health, about that many seconds left too, is able to pull off a miraculous 1-on-3.
Info. But what are the cool? Bomb loose on that site. It looks like he's thought better of it.
Oh, dearie me. Okay, well, the saves do continue here. We'll be able to save that AK-47. SDY starting to have a little bit of a looky-loo, and that extra cash, well, he had the MAC-10. He's upgraded that into an AK. Looking brave.
Credit to be given for Chopper as well, because, yeah, sure, the flank was brilliant. No one's looking at you, but still to convert the multi-kill, and the third in particular, you know, not every player is going to be as cool and calm to collect.
And not to give up on their game plan, which has been clear about getting that banana control, right? So time and time again, even though he was on the receiving end a couple of those deaths early, able to just be stubborn with the game plan and now make it work. We get to see how this spirals forward. The cash not there for VP now, and Spirit should be set up to convert their 4th round of play. Full buys, everybody with the head armor, kits for 4, util for everybody, looking juicy now. Quite the mix as well. We got a silenced M4, a M4A4, a couple of AKs in the mix, and it's just Flit with that saved one to be the hero of this.
Yeah, and as we've discussed, as has been highlighted by our desks, you know, Flit completely emerging yourself into a new system, new roles, new positions. And that'll be more and more of a topic for discussion as VP continue their adventures. Yet to see them take down a real top dog in this group. We'll see if they can take a big chunk out of Team Spirit. Flit to be a component of the 4th, if they, or rather the 6th, if they can find it. Just a hero AK, and it's the first to fall, SDY. Easy as that. More to come, and support is present. Easy peasy. Some lemons to be squeezed for Spirit. The gap's closing.
Now, this is the risk, right? When you go to save a gun like that to give yourself something to go into a round where you were likely to be eco, that individual doesn't get the loss bonus. So for Flit right now, he's getting a little bit of the Sanji treatment as far as his buy is going to go. Only 2.5k to his name. The rest will all be able to get at the AKs. No T-sided AWP to operate with right now. It's a little bit more hamstrung. The tides are turning, and the tables too. We have Ancient up next, Overpass if we do need it. Would be nice to sink our teeth into a little bit of Ancient. Dexter, warning shot fired. Yakinda spotted, and this Spearhead, if they need to let somebody off the leash, Yakinda can have some pep in his step. Very, very great on the clears. Banana control still coming into play, so massive priority here for Team Spirit to take this and force VP to regain that control or thrust them quickly into A, which we've seen manifest a few times here so far.
Yeah, Chopper very deliberate with that presence. Like, since round 1, we've seen a very clear game plan, which has, you know, been a part and parcel of why there's 6 deaths to 3 kills right now. A deep arch smoke.
Yeah, they tend to combo that with a molly towards trash, right?
Makes
so from
sense.
there, it negates the boost on the corner. It helps them clear out the trash position as well for safety. But it is a bit of a ruse. Don't actually want to head towards mid. They've waited out all the banana util. They've all stayed clustered over towards T stairs, and with the util they have, they flash on over and they go for the control.
Chopper, there's your info, and he's stuck around. Can't believe he sees how much information he's gotten away with there, and a frag no less as well. Kick it, trying to lead the pack, and that's indicative of a commitment. You will be second-guessing yourselves a little, but the steps have been heard. Dexter's still ready to respond, and as the util comes in, that's the commit. Mir to try and babysit. Oh, and they just walk into his crosshair. 3 in 1 mag. Chopper puts the cherry on top and tie this one up. They don't really bleed. Look at the cash they're starting to accrue with 2 perfect rounds back-to-back, Chad.
This is great, right? And it's fighting, right? They're happy to take fights. So the utility is there from VP to force you to be honest, right? Normally, when you're the canary in the coal mine, the individual getting the information over towards Banana, what happens is you're just there to get that info safely and get on back. Well, Chopper's hung around in multiple occasions and made it more jarring. So not giving VP free real estate, not at all. So this is working out now, but you're going to want to continue this forward and definitely not drop around here to some upgraded pistols. Everybody with their pistol of choice, couple of Deegs, couple of Tech 9s, a P250 for good measure, and a few flashbangs. Is again, Chopper is just persistent.
What a nuisance. Oh, he could even get a second there. He's tagged up Kicker. He's got a stylish half-wall flash to delay. And look at the stuff. They are going to 3-man peek this.
That's a very clear game plan, isn't it? Banana control name of the game right now.
And there's more to come. This is deathmatch. Never mind the bomb, never mind the sights. This is just going to be a fight. Buster's the last man standing.
If there was a book written on Counter-Strike, if you get the opening kill against an eco round, you would traditionally just start to play it safe.
Because we know how threatening those pistol rounds can be.
But it's the intention of Spirit is so clear. I'm talking about banana control, sure, but they have that bloodlust. They want to fight, and that's quite key here. That's exuding a bit of confidence for me that on the T side, you're going to get a lot of that as well. They're going to take a lot of risks, it feels like. And you got to go back a couple years to think about Chopper and Majors and rushing up Banana with Mac 10s, but they've got the balls to do it. And there you go again, another fight. Buster goes down. We'll take the lead right now for Team Spirit, and they're just chilling.
Great recovery. I mean, they've taken the lead after a 5-1 start here. I mean, that's exactly what they needed.
Ooh.
No timeout. It was actually off the back of a timeout. I forgot there was one CT timeout taken.
In those 5 rounds in a row that they've been able to accrue here as well, they've only lost a total of 3 players. So that's how spotless it's been. 3 in 5 rounds. Not a whole lot.
That explains 3 members over 10K then.
Yeah, it's looking pretty right now. Now, James, emergency button has been hit. The T-side AWP is out. On maps like Dust 2, they like to park him just to kill rotations. On the T-side of Inferno, he might need to be a little bit more active if Ticket can't get this banana control. And once again, utility will dissuade him. No follow-through.
Interesting mix-up. What was previously a 3-man defense of B. The same smoke has been thrown, but it's just Chopper.
They're calling their bluff a little bit here, hoping...
They want to fight?
Is Mia going to push? Mia is thinking about
They
it.
are
Would have been the right call.
Yeah, some really good reads so far. It seems like Spirit have... They've definitely played lots of VP scrims and domestically in officials.
Look at all the util on Dexter here as part of this rotation as well. So they're going to have 3 players over towards the B-bomb site, just off of the top mid info play. It's not the flash and go.
Dexter would be...
Oh!
Hard pressed to peek straight into a James T-side orb. He wasn't expecting that. First time we've seen that fill the feed. Through the smoke, kick it, flirting with it. Oh, and looking the wrong way. What a nice time in his core. Only Mir. And only some damage. 2 of them bleeding, but that should concede and tie things up to 6-6. The last 2 remaining were over on the A site. The typical A defenders as well. They'll know that as they press tab.
And now this is the situation if you are Magix and SDY. Do you want to try and punish the economy, take away a couple of guns? As you mentioned before, that economy, that bank, it's been built up quite nicely. They can risk this, but you want to make sure that you are getting a kill or 2. You don't want to be frivolous about this. You don't want to be just peeking any corners wide, going down to the AWP. And here's a duel for Magix. Yakinda on the other side, peppering away at each other. Warning shots, if anything. And Yakinda, well, that's enough of a warning. Magix down. They're not going to get anything for this. It looks like SDY has spotted Flit. No, there's not going to be enough time to chase him on down here, I don't think. And we tie things back up again at 6-6. I think if you're Team Spirit here, you're going to be wanting to win out the half for sure. 9, meaning they'll need the last 3 here on the trot before we get to half time. I think it's going to be a little bit more necessary for them. Their buy does look fantastic here, and this was the kill, right? As soon as Chopper jumps up, I was speaking about the bloodlust. Well, that's when it doesn't work, right? You get to the other side of it there. Trying to retain the information the best he could, but back into the gun rounds we go. Found a utility out, but this time they're not thrusting themselves forward. They're tempting Ticket to come on in. Just that rally, guys, I know it just looks like nades being thrown, but the decision-making here, the deep molly, right? And then the deep smoke means that Kickit has to drop on back behind that because they can clear him out towards the half wall. So then the T's throw the car molly to delay that push. And the util just goes back and forth. Then we end up in a stalemate where both teams gain absolutely nothing. They just lose a lot of util. Space does stay in the favor of VP here as they continue with this default combing of the map. And there's really no presence over towards A just yet. Flip, the only man tasked in that boiler and Hall's position so far. Yakinda flirting with the idea of middle, and looks like they've got SDY in a bit of a yo-yo here. Redefending this B bomb site. Now they're making their way up mid, and path of least resistance would be the arch side right here, right now. Dexter will note it as that smoke has been dropped. They have to be on high alert that mid to B or an A wrap is possible, but neither option being taken here. Back to B they slink, and information back for Dexter, so they should be ready and raring for a bit of a B hit here.
Yeah, Dexter's just sweeping top mid now, so it syncs up nicely. And with the 30 seconds left, you start seeing util Drop there in Sentry, the HE, that's surely the Q. Chopper's going for the ratty one on the fountain, a lovely off angle. Strikes early, evades the flames, tucked in tight, a crossfire established. It's going to be tough to break. He does go down. Good contributions from SDY, kicking and screaming for the double, and no time to plant, no time to win the round. Well, we're getting all the evidence of the weaknesses of both teams' game plans here.
Sure.
The round prior, we just saw what happens when you do keep bringing the fight and it falls flat. This time, VP rotting that clock just a little too much.
Yeah, if you're unable to trade efficiently going into the sites when you play that late, then the round it could be done and dusted right there and then, and that's exactly what happens. Multi-kills coming in the favor of Team Spirit. They shut the door on VP, and realistically, that whole round was about 1:30 worth of posturing and slight info gathering until we have the gamble stack, or let's say a well-educated stack coming out from Spirit there to lock down that B bomb site. Smiles on the faces, and looks like we do have a little bit of a technical timeout as you're seeing the headset coming off of SDY. I don't know if any of you tuned into TI just the other week here, but Spirit were the ones to actually take the whole thing home in the Dota realms, and I'm pretty sure that admin was behind the TI teams as well. So
they're lucky mascot.
Behind him. Yeah, well, I think VP was there as well. Like a lot of the big Counter-Strike names are also over in the Dota realms too. Crossover of organizations.
Yeah, and I mean, Team Spirit it's like the equivalent of Copenhagen Flames walking in and lifting the trophy here at the major.
Yeah,
you know, like that they had the Cinderella story. They had it.
I love the sass that they had as well. Like in the game against OG, like I think it was Toronto, Tokyo. I watch Dota once a year.
Yeah.
It was like typed easy game against OG, and there was all that going on. It was good fun.
I like that OG also realized that there's no bad blood there. They know how good it feels to be beating the hot favorite, the seasoned vets, the TI champs. You know, like I mean, of course that's gonna be feeling like you're on cloud 9.
Well, hopefully not in Counter-Strike, but
Now, looks like we are going back into the realms. A couple more rounds of our first half here in the first map of this best of 3. 2 wins, 1 loss. Looking to secure legend status. And there's going to be a very uncomfortable set of big names due to shortcomings. Astralis a good example where you really do want to secure it now. Secure it today. Kick it, securing double entries on Banana. Spirit gagging for a fight. They're going through it? Nah.
I've done enough now. This is where you can realistically just wait out the time. The CTs have to either get desperate with another gamble or another push. And here SDY comes. Kicker's going to get the 3rd for the round.
And Dexter's next, holding on to the whole site.
Oh, straight towards A. They've seen enough. Heading over towards Magix right now. He's out of position.
He's normally the pit player, bro. Ah, that's an interesting trajectory. So he sold them that. Flit knows he can fly out the bow.
Has to win this.
Oh, he's struggling. Timing on this. Balcony, soon a threat. Adapting nicely. He's reading this well, trying to delay as best he can. The rotation on its way. Down goes Flit, not the 2v4.
Has to live.
And that's a bit of a push, isn't it? Taking down Yakinda keeps the round interesting.
And back they go.
He's reading them well. Just evades the Degster long clear. James going back to A. He's hoping Magix has gone back. He kind of faked the noise. He opted for the AK.
Oh my god.
2 versus 4 for the denial. Knocks the head off of James. Piecing together where Buster may linger. He's had a perfect read so far. Will he consider long? If he goes towards Coldzera, it's off. Yes.
Oh my god,
he
the
could
reposition.
do this. Magix looking for his 4th, but a 2v4. Buster with a hard clear. Magix, how quick can you clear? Oh! Okay. Close, but no cigar today. Buster smokes him.
What a round that could have been from Magix, right? Under the pump right there, you can see all the details going back and forth. They identify the AWP top Banana. They hightail it over towards A. The Molotov comes from the arch side. They're forced up short and through apartments. And this is all with Kicker starting the round with 3 kills. Magix almost does this. Almost wins them around from nowhere. Look at all the pressure here. He knew he had to scamper through Moto into the site. He delayed the best he could. Dexter gets there but does nothing. And then isolated in the one-on-one, Buster does mop up that mess.
Brutality. That was nearly
that's
something
gonna
very
sting.
special. Oh, and he's doing it again. Kick at the entry fragger. Yakinda's at T-spawn. Kick it's at top Banana. A roll reversal. Mir is lucky to be alive. 2 sets of shrapnel from 2 different HEs now. Leave him at 24.
That was one of the things, right? When we first had Yakinda join this team, I think we had an interview with the likes of Kickit, and he was saying, yeah, we got 3 entry fraggers in the team right now. Buster, Kickit, Yikinda are all able to get aggressive, and today, Kickett's the one doing the honors. But now they can actually stabilize with this number advantage here, the half win. There's 4 more kills away right now for VP on their map choice, but Information name of the game again. And they call it clear, but they need to rotate. They need to rotate now. SDY's on his own.
Yeah, Mir returning to where all that damage was done to him. He's been equipped with the AWP. He went shopping. Dexter gave it to him, but it's not going to be easy to contribute anything here. At least not with the AWP. They're cancelling the boost. It was very loud. They haven't opted to free fire it. Everything lining up for VP here.
Yeah, VP's round to lose.
The 8-7 finish to win out their T-half.
2 mollies and a flash. That's all they've got for the retake. The kits are nice, but this is going to be difficult to break.
I mean, this is hard mode, yeah. Good luck, have fun. Buster already lining up a couple more heads, and that's Magic's just desperately trying to find a way in. A missed shot from James is something, but that's a nade from Flit. All that utility, the speed by which they took the site. And now all on to one man. There you have it. VP 8. Team Spirit 7. I mean, for a recovery, though, Chad, you have to remember how it started.
Yeah, Team Spirit did a good job to get them back into this, and then VP with the bounce back of their own here. It tightened up to a competitive, I want to say, last 6 or so rounds where we really saw the teams going toe-to-toe. And now that we flick on over, this is where we see maybe some of the woes coming through from VP. And I know on the T side, you know, it can be a bit more difficult in terms of like how quick you want to react and what strategies the teams like to run. But the CT side, in terms of the chemistry of holding positions, this is where VP won't have what Spirit have, at least in theory. Now, Flip, pound for pound, compared to Sanji, right? He's a better fragger. But he's also hasn't been asked in the team that he played in before to drop guns every single round. So this is where we're going to have a bit of a discrepancy here, and I think that's why we will see a different looking VP, not just in the names, but in their approach to the game going forward. Here we go, both teams.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay.
Well, that's a CT smoke. They're just going to rush B here. Chopper might die to 2 bullets.
Yeah, he certainly could. Yikinda spotted the whole squad. Luckily, Magic's has struck it. Oh, Flit strikes harder. Nearly more. He's corralling them and not bad to keep them honest. Oh, Flit.
Mincemeat.
Yeah, finish that one off with style. 3 in quick succession. And a little bit of an oopsie from the Team Spirit boys. It's not what you want to see.
No, definitely not, right? Don't swing your bloody knife as you're going out of spawn.
They've been grinding too many matchmaking games, or...
Yeah, you want to stay away from that. So just stabbing your in-game leader right in the back, the man with all the util. A big whoopsie.
And look at how quick he falls.
Yeah.
First one in the spine. Then the headshots come in. 3 from Flit there. And re-peeking after catching a bullet to the dome. He knew his role.
Well, they will force buy back. So Team Spirit not willing to give it the fight just yet. And an aggressive maneuver here from James. Up into Boiler, listening for any fast footsteps. Alt middle.
You want aggressive. Look at Yikinda. He's giving him the Team Spirit treatment. Early, deep banana smoke. And pop flash up mid. That might spur Yikinda to walk on through. We'll find out how this one shapes up. So fast, Tech 9's loud, stampeding into Kicker. Lovely angle he's adopted there. And it doesn't look like there'll be much left for Yikinda. Kicker cleans house. 1 by 1. Single file into the site.
When you force buy, you want to get a kill or 2 or a plant. Everybody dying without getting anything done, that's less than ideal. Let's just leave it that way. As it should now be the closest thing we get these days to a full eco from Team Spirit.
Meanwhile, Valve tune in and see 3 different weapon variations already in play for the CT side and absolutely love it.
Smiles from ear to ear. The thing is, with this, when I had conversations with them in Majors back in the day, right, they would say it, but it wasn't clear. Like, they should have been like, well, no, there's plenty of different guns with plenty of different options, you idiot. But they would say, but why don't you consider a different option, right? You know, they didn't spoon feed us, but we got there eventually.
No, they have a little bit of a kind of a god complex. You know, they want their minions to work it out themselves.
I like it. You know, it's making us use our brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Sometimes in the patch notes, or they just, you know, I don't know, make
a little bit cheeky.
Make a gun cheaper for a while, just to make their minions understand.
That's the arrows that guys look here. It's the big neon lights.
Yeah.
Try this one. It looks pretty good, right? That's why people like Sloth Squadron and stuff are integral, right? Because they're the ones who break down all the details, the numbers, which is what this is all built on. But
they'd love a plant here, Chadney. It's not going to happen. There goes the bomb. It's been thrust now into Mir's hands, and good luck. Have fun with that.
James going to like that. Kill with the SMG. Bit of extra dollary dues coming on through. And 11-7 the scores now read. AKs will be coming out for Team Spirit now. And if their first half and their banana aggression was anything to go off, Be interested to see if we do get a carry through of that here on the T side. That unrelenting fight for territory. Could find a few issues here because James AWP is out immediately. He's given that UMP over to the likes of Yakinda here. Plenty of cash for the VP side of things as well. And they're going to be operating with a 3-man B defense early. Jame posted down middle, an aggressive stance, taking the pick to second. The flash is good. The warning shot fired. Now Spirit know what they're working with. I like this. Slinking on up, flashed on through. Aggressive footsteps heard. Kick it out of position. He's down.
Okay, a 3-2 split. They're wrapping around the A site and Chopper plucked out. Jame on the site outline. Great angle. He's thrown a little one-way there. And he's absolutely dismantled this. Flit and Jame, partners in crime. Execute the Spirit wrap. I mean, in terms of T-side, you're saying you like it. You couldn't ask for more. Seeing all your players on the site, taking down the long player initially, you've got the room to move and flank and strike in unison, and I think Flit smoked it a lot there.
Yeah, you could tell that was reactionary from Spirit Rap because as soon as they noted where Jame was, right, they get the flash, they take top mid control, Kicker is rotating in. They were trying to punish the arch side, which is where that rotation from the B defender has to come back on through. They're able to thread the needle there, but instead of hitting the brakes, they try and get on top of that. And normally, if an AWPer is stuck in a very rough position, like in the A site, and you crossfire, you're coming in from both short and long, he's going to pivot 180 degrees, right? But that Flit smoke, that one way into the double kill, cheeky. And it's put Team Spirit in a position where they have to take a timeout and discuss their finances here. No plant, not enough to buy, enough for a half purchase, and this is where you like to see a pocket strat come out. And that one right there, look, the flash has gone off just after he's pulled the trigger, or just before.
I mean, the smoke serves so many purposes. Like, not only is it maybe reactionary because he knows they're going to try and run down our AWP, he's just made it clear he's on site, but it blocks Jame from being vulnerable to any funny business on short while he plays around the boxes and continues to be a viable defender of the site. Very aggressive from Mir. I think the incendiary forcing him forwards, and this boost typically good for the T ramp, but it'll just be the warning shot for now. Half buy, couple of pistols, and already got the casualty of one.
They're already aware of this, right? They can tell it's going to be Apartments Waterfall. Two of them, one from Pit, one from Graveyard ready.
Ooh. At least a bullet connecting, but there's plenty of VP here, as you discussed. They know, and that hurts. SDY. Nade down the gullet. One by one they fall. Yeah, if I'm the observer team, I'm just going to keep from the 6 to the 0. I'll keep my pressing those buttons. There is nothing for Team Spirit to be doing right now.
Yeah, and we're talking about just like the lack of kills in the rounds that VP were getting in the slew. Team Spirit were able to post on their CT side. Having a look here at the 5 in a row right now that we've gotten. It's only a total of 3 kills in those 5 and not a single plant. So things are going miserably right now for Spirit. If you're a VP fan, things are going great, right? There hasn't been a single threat so far on this CT side. Money, awesome. Everybody around that 10K mark. And the heads need to be scratched right now for Team Spirit. They need to change the dialogue here. Freeze time ticks on down and we get back underway.
Damn. That's interesting. I'll just take a look at the opening duel stats, and both Kickit, respectively, Chopper for Team Spirit, are both leading and taking 9 and being involved in 9 opening duels each.
Wow.
Both winning 4, losing 5.
Okay. That's a lot of util down. Yakinda aggressive now, 32.
Oh, bullets are in absolutely the right place, and Magix has bailed himself out of trouble. Bailed his leader out of trouble for a moment. But this pressure is relentless, and look at the fights we're getting. This is a very different flavor than what I was expecting.
This isn't the CIS Counter-Strike we all grew accustomed to throughout the online era. This is very biffy.
It's very biffy.
Use the term deathmatch here, and you can just see the kills happening all over the map and people willing to go for fights.
I mean, I suppose this is also not only a product of LAN, the Major, but the fact that you've played 30 official matches against each other. Like, this is you're no longer playing A plan, B plan. This is the counter VP, counter Team Spirit plan.
Well, this right here is a massive gap for Magix and Dexter to thread right now. If they can get on through, get into the site, and get the bomb down before Jame is able to find a kill, they might be able to fortify this A bomb site. Now, Jame, if he came through the apartments behind, that's one place you wouldn't be too ready for this quickly, but multiple smokes, a couple of mollies in the mix. They're being lobbed out now, and here comes Jame. I don't think they're ready for this early.
This is so naughty. Dex had a look.
He's considering it.
Oh, but just as he pulls the nade out of his satchel. He's booked, and Kicker, you know he's walking through that. So does Magic's. Not, oh no. He got very close to a beautiful clutch previously.
Need to plant. They need this money.
faked
They
out.
need that $800.
He's not going to get it down now, Chad. They're just going to walk him in.
Yeah,
Wall
round's
bang him.
lost.
Nade him. Oh, well, he does get the bomb down at the bare minimum.
Had to do that, right? That's the only way they can stay competitive with another buy. I understand that they need the round as well, but in a 1-on-3 situation like that, it was always going to be unlikely he would go for the win, will be able to get the win. So yeah, they get the bomb down, but so far the goose egg here on the T side. I can come back through, and the timeouts, if you're Spirit, you may as well continue to take whatever you have left at this point. You're in a hard spot. VP looking very, very good here. Nobody is slouching right now. Top end of the scoreboard, you've got your Kinder and Flit on 17 apiece. You have 15 coming in for the likes of Kickit. 13 for James, Buster on 11. And yeah, James looking confident again. Picks down mid, picks to second mid. Gets on out with the timing here. Willing to have a look. Oh, they already tried this round. They have already... Oh! Unconfirmed damage, but they're straight into it.
Okay, Chopper's got him. No, he hasn't. Kickit's still doing more. Going above and beyond the call of duty. He nearly takes him down on his own. He's got James to call upon, so long, no issue. And VP, this is such a CT lockout. We had a competitive half, Chad.
Oof, this is like Copenhagen Flames yesterday against Heroic, right? Once they moved onto the CT side of their Vertigo, they just destroyed them. And right now, VP are doing exactly the same here. And the thing is, if you want to contrast the T sides, VP running down the clock and then playing late with the mind games and forcing Team Spirit into gamble stacks, you can see the difference. Here, what you're getting is Team Spirit going for all-ins early, and the rounds are pretty much done and dusted within the first 20 to 30 seconds. SDY tries his best, but yep, some die young. Well, he is dead, and that's going to be 15-7, just one more round required.
Now, this was VP's pick. Let's not forget that this is something they definitely felt like they were most attuned to convert.
I did say I was going to give up on Spirit, but I predicted them again.
Ah.
So I guess I can predict them until they're eliminated, and then I can't predict them anymore.
Yeah, well, I actually have both Spirit and VP in my pick'ems, so I'm cheering
we
for
could
for
still
everyone.
get both, you
Yeah.
know? It's still possible.
Certainly, and I'm not going to be celebrating prematurely for VP. Now, it's great to see them looking as dominant as they are here on the CT side, and good to see a varied and eclectic mix of strategies on their tee. But Ancient's next, and FaZe, oof, did really teach him a lesson or two yesterday on that very map. So looking forward to the series. I think getting to see the newest map in the pool here at the Major between these two teams. I mean, look at the Counter-Strike you're getting on Inferno.
Yeah, look at all the rotation over towards this B site here. Jame +2, ready to lock down the four-man take. Should be the Blender NB.
Here they come. It's quick, though. Not opting to smoke it. They'd rather just fight. And Kickit's ready for it as well. The brawl begins. Magic's going to clear him. Buster's booked. It's doable. Kickit looking to change the dialogue, anticipating the swing. A well-placed nade will force them further away, and now the trajectory alone does reveal Emo's lost the site too. Bomb's loose. Oh, this boost should rumble them. They're being so loud about
Smoke's
it.
faded too. Timing was off.
Cancel that. Silence falls for a second, and it's not necessarily planting any doubts. SDY gives Kickit the fight he's been waiting for, and Magic's again, just in a dire circumstance. That's beautiful. A spotless half. VP unscathed in their defense of Inferno. It's their pick, and they demonstrate exactly why.
Yeah, there's a couple of takeaways there. I really did like the fight that we were getting out of Team Spirit over within that first half, right? They were willing to take the duels, but that carried across to the T side, and there was no depth in that T half. Lack of kills, lack of plants, and it was limp, right? It was one-way traffic. There's no other way to put it. Really good signs there from VP, and this is what you want to see. I mentioned it at the start of the cast. I'll mention it again. 3 out of the 5 players within this team were in the last major grand final. Now look, that was 2 years ago, and look, the roller coaster that Avangard into VP have been on over those 2 years is all over the shop here. But it's good to see them coming in with this form, and I think if you take a little bit of a look, if all the favorites do win their matches today, right, Team Spirit are likely to take on Astralis tomorrow. So if you Team Spirit, this is a very important game to win. Astralis, even though they started the tournament 0-2, they're heating up, and I don't think they're going to be an easy beat for anybody anymore. So a lot of question marks to Team Spirit to ask themselves before they go into this second map of play. The desk was talking about it. Was it a gamble? You know, should they have gone with a map that maybe they feel more comfortable on? Is it a punish? What were they looking to do in this environment? all those answers and hopefully many, many more not too far away. But stuff like this can't happen, Alex. You can't be just the little gaps.
Yeah,
It's not a huge deal.
It's not a huge deal, but when he's the first to die and the rest follow, it just sours the mood in the camp. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily completely unrelated that was how the first round started of that half, and they didn't find a round.
Yeah, like the thing is, it just kind of sucks a bit.
This was another one like that. If you weren't triggered enough, losing this one when you've got 5 people wrapping into the site against 2, that's going to leave a mark as well.
Yeah, there was moments they definitely had here where they could have converted, but not to be the case. And I think, for Flit, a good showing again, right? Yeah. I think him putting up numbers right there, it wasn't like they had the hardest day at the office. It wasn't gritty, but he was doing his job, stepping up to get those multi-kills. So it's still obviously extremely early days for VP. They've come on in. The first time that we're seeing this team with this formation playing officials is the Major. So every day that they're able to get more practice under their belt, just like that, things are looking better and better. So, yeah, I can't wait for Ancient. It's a map that you and I do enjoy, and I'm interested to see if VP have been able to fix any of those holes from the FaZe game just yesterday.
We'll see if it goes as long as Sharks Pain's Ancient
Oh,
goes.
that was quite the affair, wasn't it?
It really was. We are going to, however, catch our breath. You can go hydrate. Tell your friends to tune in to catch Ancient and see if these boys can teach us a thing or two about the newest map.
Your favorites will play soon. You hope for the win. Excited about the game. But something has changed. You start to doubt. Will they pull it off? Or will they drift away? You pull yourself together. Because you're sure they're revved up to win. You know they've prepared. They've picked the right course. And even when there's no chance, you believe they will win. GG Bet. Be excited.
So we're here in Stockholm, and I'm going to be doing some quick-fire questions, but in a different style. When I say quick-fire, they've got to be quick, but the lift could be quicker. We're going in the elevator up and down, and they've got to answer as many of these crazy questions as they can. Let's see how it goes. We're doing the quick-fire in the elevator. I've got JNT from Young Sharks. Let's start. Favorite map?
Mirage.
Weapon?
Alp.
Utility?
Smoke grenade.
Animal?
Tiger.
Team?
Astralis.
Ooh, position?
Entry.
Okay. Player of all time?
Forest.
Nice. Country?
Brazil.
Hey. Game?
Counter-Strike.
Pistol?
Glock.
Teammate?
Device.
Okay. Caster?
Pimp.
I like it. Food?
Pizza.
Oh, nice. Crosshair color?
Blue. The actually is blue now.
Oh,
but
blue
maybe
now.
tomorrow is green. I don't know. I change every time.
Sometimes you have something different in your settings.
Yes.
I like it. What we